Hi, this is your monthly market update, and I'm super excited to bring national market numbers and local Ada and Canyon County market numbers to you. We're going to start with national, then go to Ada, then go to Canyon. So stick with me on this. Thank you for being here. Make sure to message us with questions. So here we go. I just got this from Gary Keller and Jay Papazan, who have a whole research department at a university in Texas, and they love the data and the numbers. I've listened to them around the market for the last 10 years, so I've heard them speak about our market, which is affected by who's in office and what's happening in the economy. But I mean, right now what's happening with the pandemic, like it all affects each other. It affects real estate. And what I've know from Gary is that he states the facts and he does it based on research. Okay, so there are so many factors that can help us predict a future market. We'd be a fool to tell you exactly what's going to happen in the future, but there's some pretty fun factors that I can share with you. The best way for us to prepare for the future is to look back on trends. Things rise and things fall. It's just what happens. Predictions of next year, it could be flat. There's a lot of factors that are going to go into it, but it could be flat, which would make next year the number 6 best real estate year of all time. And if it goes flat, which is pretty cool. The pandemic, there's no trends for that. We don't know what to expect with this, how long it's going to be here. It will affect our economy. We know that. It will affect some people's jobs, other people it won't affect their job. But what we know is what we can control is getting the vaccine that's now FDA approved and wearing masks and being careful, but still living our lives and keeping those businesses open. So our country appreciated 13% and 15% in the last 2 years. So 2 years ago, 13% and then 15%. Locally in Idaho, even Boise, even more. So say you go to McDonald's and you're used to paying $1 for a burger, and then all of a sudden it's $1.30 or $1.50. Like that makes you go, whoa, right? There's only been a few years of double-digit appreciation. So what you've seen in the last couple of years is not normal, you guys. Don't expect it forever. So the double-digit appreciation since we've started tracking appreciation was 2003, 2013, 2019, 2020, and 2021. Other than that, it's been less than 10. 4% is the most normal appreciation. Always a good time to buy and sell as long as you really need to. If there's motivation there, it's always a good time. I bought a house this year. I think it's, with the right reasons, it's always a good time. And then ask yourself, how long do you intend to live in the home? Because if you plan to live there for a long time, I'm going to show you a graph. I'm going to show you a historical graph of our county that shows the Great Recession going down and then coming up and how long it would take to own a house before you're back on track. If the home is for you, you like it, you have good reason to buy it, and you can afford it, then you should buy it and own it for a long time. The reasons for our market shift. Future Magazine says forbearances could make up 23% of an increase of inventory. So still, we haven't dealt with forbearances before. It's a great program to help people that are struggling to make their mortgage payments. It's just new to us, but it could cause increased inventory in the future. We're seeing more creative financing all of a sudden, which is a little bit of a red flag. Interest rates were down to 2.75 in January, and they're up to 3% in June. They've gone down a little bit, but the forecast is 3.7% in 2022. All bets are off. It's just a forecast, you guys. GDP, it's doing great. We want to see it at above 2. We're at 6.5. Oh, major shift since last year. Major shift. March this year, there was a lot of consumer confidence, which was good. Now everyone's on the edge. There was a new report done just recently. People have the least confidence than we've seen in a long time, probably because of some uncertainty. Unemployment, we want to see it at 6. We're at 4.8. The worst was at 8.1 in 2020 for the last couple of years. And then, of course, it was even worse in the Great Recession. It was at 10. There are 10.1 million jobs available. So that's kind of weird to have fairly good unemployment, but then have so many jobs available. So some businesses are doing great and they're creating more jobs. I'm doing great in my real estate business. We're creating more jobs, right? And so that's part of it. And then some people are waiting because housing has increased so much that they can't afford to take certain jobs. So they're waiting for the right job because the salary is not high enough. Salaries probably need to be raised. If our prices are going to continue like this, our real estate prices, how can people even afford houses? So inflation could be, an effect to all of this. We want to see it at 2%. We're at 4.4. We don't know if this is temporary or if this is long-term. So that's something we have to watch and wait. New construction has been a part of our market inventory problem. So we've had, the lost decade of inventory. And what I mean by that is after the Great Recession, builders got out, contractors got out, and we weren't building enough homes since the bottom of the Great Recession. So it's been an entire decade of not enough homes being built. The builders are doing the fastest they can. The supply chain issue is a whole new conversation that we've never experienced before. We have several build jobs that are taking 18 months right now. So we're really behind on new construction, but we're getting back because builders are working as fast as they can to get us back on track. Affordability, this is interesting. The top 20% earners had a 70% growth last year. The top 5% earners had a 200% growth. And wages have lagged, interest rates have helped. So even like the middle class or like just like regular salaried employees that are making about the same, the lower interest rates help them afford a little bit more home if they were that move up buyer. And then remote work, that's something else we don't really know how to predict it. Only 40% of professional services are back to work. So that's our lowest category back to work, where a lot of folks are staying at home, but a lot of people back to work. Here's what I think. I think we're never going to go back to the way we were, right? We're going to have some people, some days work from home, full-time work from home, but a lot of folks are going to want to go back and collaborate. Like I like to collaborate in the office, be seen so they can move up in an organization. If you're behind Zoom, it's hard to move up in an organization, really be seen that your work is making impact. So some companies are going to require people going back to work, and some people will choose to go back to, not back to work, but back to the office. Some people will choose. Okay, so let's talk about the local Boise market. And let me know if you have any questions about that. I'm going to get some slides on some of that information where you can see the charts and graphs, and I'd love to share it once I get my hands on those slides. So let me share my screen. Okay, here's Ada County. So right now we have 650 houses for sale, 792 under contract. This time last year, we had less houses for sale, 369, 1,025 under contract. So what's that showing me is we have more sellers and less buyers now than we did this time last year, right? Sellers have increased and buyers have decreased. The only problem with that, usually a year-over-year comparison is awesome, but the problem with that is last summer was a makeup of last spring. Last spring our transactions were cut in half. And then last summer, there was a ton of pent-up demand and all the transactions squeezed into the summertime. It actually is making me kind of want to just do something really quick, if you guys don't mind. Oh, shoot. Stick with me because I think worth it. So we're looking at July 2020 year over year. Okay. So July 19 would be a better year to compare to this year because our summer this year has felt more like a historical summer where we had a big, huge spring and now it's starting to taper off as we get closer to school. So in July 19, we had 951 houses for sale and 911 buyers under contract. So technically, we're at less listings for sale, 911 to 650, and then less buyers. That doesn't look quite as frightening as this change, right? It does feel like a change, like a softening of our market, but that could just be a normal August lull. We'll have to see if this is a permanent shift or if this is just an August, we're going back to school in Labor Day shift. The average price, even though our inventory has risen from last year to this year, the average price is $515. So that went up again since the month before. It was at $480. Now we're at $515. Ada County. The inventory is at 1 month, so 30 days. To give you perspective, a balanced market is 5 months, 4 or 5 months. And so we are still in a seller's market at 30 days. But last year in December, we had 6 days of inventory. So we are seeing a shift of higher inventory from 6 days to 30. We'll feel that, but don't get me wrong, we are not anywhere close to a balanced or a buyer's market. We're still very much a seller's market. The nation's sitting at 2-something months inventory. So we're still lower inventory than the nation. Canyon County, there's 277 houses for sale. This time last year, 144. 359 under contract. This time last year, 460. The average price in Canyon County, Idaho, $358. Wow. It's definitely more affordable than Boise area. So that's why a lot of our first-time home buyers and investors are going to Canyon. And they're at just under a month inventory, just a little bit less than 30 days. Their market goes to a balanced market at the 600 to million and a major buyer's market at over $1 million. In Canyon or Ada, I forgot to mention that, super great market. Oh my gosh, balanced market at over 2 million, under 2 million. It's a seller's market. Okay, so I want to show you guys this really fun graph. This is existing. I just want to look at existing home sales. So this is our history of real estate. We have a statistician at Boise State that creates these for us every month. If you like these, I get these every single month and I'm happy to share them with you. So 2006 to 2020 goes into, yeah, it looks like we're not reporting 2021 yet. Yeah, so this shows the gray is pendings, the dark gray is closed, the light gray is pendings, and then this is active listings over here. So this is back in, oh shoot, we weren't tracking in 2006, but I remember in 2006 we had over 1,000 listings in Ada County for resale. So we are a lot lower than 2006 great sellers market. But this is kind of fun. In 2006, our average price was $260. And then we started to have the Great Recession. So that, we went down. I mean, look at all the way down from 260 to 160 average. And I remember selling $75,000 houses in 2011. Yeah. And then what's normal is coming out of a bottom. The nation was 2010 and this area was 2011. Coming out of a rock bottom like we did, we usually see major appreciation like this, 12.7% and 17.6%. That's how we get out of a recession. We see appreciation. And then we got to more normal, like 4% and 8% and 6%. And then we started to see these huge numbers. And there was quite a bit of migration. There was a lot of factors that went into it. And then the pandemic, which caused a lot of different motivations and changes, and interest rates really caused this last couple of year appreciation. So this is not normal to see these huge numbers after we've already appreciated so much. Super interesting stuff, right? Hey, that's your market update for the month. I'd love to hear feedback. What did you learn? What questions do you have? Do you have other perspectives that helps me learn? Other resources of information, or you heard something different somewhere else? I'd love to share those graphs with your neighborhood. So wherever you live in Ada or Canyon County, I can get you a special graph just for your neck of the woods. So reach out to me. My name is Christina Ward, 208-869-2444. My email is Christina@ChristinaandCompany.com, all spelled out. Hope you all have a great day.